All right, what's up, my brothers from another mother? Got a follow-up reach request from a subscriber here. So let's hop straight into it. On the top right of the screen, I will link his original video response to his first question. This is a follow-up to it. He's still having problems with his wife. Let's just dive right into it. He says, hi, Richard. Many thanks for the previous response. Lots of insight came from the current situation. Okay. Since the response, things have not developed with more discussions about divorce, which now center not so much on us both, but about her extended family. My wife has two grown-up children. Now, I think in the original video you said you were dealing with one, the daughter. You didn't mention the son. So we've got a second child now. Wife has two grown-up children that do not live in the family home. Okay, her eldest daughter has epilepsy and needs an element of social care, which my wife provides 25 to 30 miles away from my home. The real issue, however, is her son. So now we've got a new issue, which was not spoken about in the first video. So he's got rent and loan arrears of about £4,500. It's lost him two flats, and he's ended up, flats, by the way, guys, in North America are apartments, for those of you that aren't familiar with English lingo. Living with his girlfriend, who is pregnant, and the daughter's parents. Okay, so his wife's son is a bum living with his girlfriend who is knocked up at her parents' house. Okay, stay with me here, it gets worse. These arrears have been accrued by his constant use of cannabis, in my opinion, harder drugs. He has even attempted to request off his mother to redirect his mail to my house to offset his debt, which boiled my piss, quite frankly. Again, those of you that aren't familiar with English lingo, boiling your piss means just getting pissed off at something, essentially. Now, I don't know what having mail redirected to your house would do. I don't see it as you being liable for anything. I mean, you know, based on debt law here anyway, in North America, redirecting mail doesn't make you responsible for somebody else's debt. It's only in the person's name. But it brings you closer to becoming more responsible for his fuck-ups in life, essentially. So I think it's clever to keep it at arm's length. I have repeated my stance that there is no intention from me to assist him in any way by not allowing him into my home to protect my son, who aforementioned has type 1 diabetes. He has been like a constant point of argument between me and my wife, and I feel I have nowhere to turn. She says to me there is no plan to move him in, nor to assist with raising his kid. Well, it doesn't sound like he's got very many places to go unless his girlfriend's parents are willing to assist with that. And I suspect they're probably frowning upon his life choices and where he sits in the world in the pecking order. So yeah, I think certainly keeping him at arm's length and not allowing him to live in your house is probably a smart idea. You've already mentioned, again, the cards in the top right, that you've already had problems in the marriage with the wife with past choices and her bankruptcy and stuff like that. So anyway, let's keep going. I've listened to your discussions on blended family stuff on your YouTube videos before, so I'd like your take on it. It's just a bad idea. I mean, like, why do you need to take care of a grown-ass adult who's made some bad choices, broke, is getting stoned all the time, and knocked up his girlfriend? That, like, I'm a big fan, like, guys, listen to this. Like, I'm a big fan of telling people, don't make your problems my problems. If you can just recite that simple line in life and don't let people dump their shit on your day and your life, your way of existing is just going to be so much more calm. You're not going to have to put up with nightmare, stoner in your basement with a screaming baby and his girlfriend screaming at him because he's a loser in your house all day long. You just won't have to deal with that. So, I mean, it's up to you whether or not you want to keep him at arm's length or not. But my recommendation is, why do you want to invite that drama into your life? Okay, move him in. Yeah, so I've listened to your videos. I know there's a female imperative for her to think that because I married her. I take on the extended family also. But because of her son's situation with drugs and debt, I feel I'm out of options and cannot continue with the marriage. Well, go back to the advice that we talked about in the last video. Again, card at the top right. And reflect on it some more. But, I mean, you're bringing a lot of stress and cost in your life. For what? For what, really? And then she carries on, like her only way to respond or, in essence, retaliate to your stances, you get accused of not being right in the head. If you want to see really good examples of women using shaming tactics like that or suggesting you're not right in the head, go to all my videos and sort by most popular. I think the most popular one is still 3 tests that you can use to filter for high quality women. And look at the comments in that video from women that claim that I'm not right in the head for suggesting guys filter out for low quality, high drama women. It's just par for the course. There's nothing unusual about that. That's just what she's trying to do to get you to sway in her direction. Because she thinks I'm making wrong assumptions, which I believe to be emotional grandstanding. In fact, yeah, okay. Well, that's my feedback. I don't know why you continue to put yourself through this drama and unnecessary stress. First video, there was other problems. In this request, now you're dealing with her son, her adult son, who's making bad choices and trying to, bring him or his problems into your world. I don't know what your financial resources are like, if you're well off. I think we went over it in the first video, but it sounded like, you had married down and she, of course, married up. So she's, of course, leaning on you as much as she possibly can to help, with the problems in her life that she brings along with the children that make bad choices. It's why I always say don't get married to these single mothers. I mean, they bring all kinds of drama along, kids in tow, and then now it's going to be grandkids in tow. Last thing that I would want as a grown-ass adult that's got my life, sorted out is a kid of a woman that I was with brought into my life from her prior marriage with all of his problems and drugs and kids and babies. And why? Like, why are you putting yourself through that? It's on you. I mean, I'm going to wrap it up just by saying this. You're always going to get out of life what you tolerate. And if you're going to tolerate incompetency and losers in your life, you're going to end up with that in your life. So I think you're doing the right thing by putting your foot down and setting barriers as far as, what is allowed and what is not allowed. So it's really up to you. I mean, you're always going to have stress coming from her for not being a real man and, helping out with her son or whatever problems he has with debt and drugs and pregnant baby mamas and stuff like that. It's up to you, brother. I mean, again, you get out of life what you tolerate. So if you're going to continue to tolerate nonsense, you're going to continue to get nonsense. So you've got to put your foot down, lay down the law, and it is what it is. My guess is, unfortunately, it sounds like this marriage has probably run its course. I mean, I got the feeling from you in the first video that it's run its course. Anyway, guys, check out the first video. Card is in the top right to this request. I want to thank you for making the request and pledging to support the channel by doing this sort of stuff. If anybody has any requests, it's just reach.me/Richard Cooper, and I'll record a dedicated video. The plus or the bonus, I suppose, is you're going to get the feedback from the entire community when I post this to the channel. A lot of people will chime in with some thoughts. Take them with a grain of salt, but it's just outside perspective. So I think it adds a little bit of value and insight. And last but not least, channel sponsor, Grondike Tactical Soap Company. There is a link in the description for this awesome stuff. Handmade soap, good for you, not infused with any kind of fragrances that are fake that are going to lower men's testosterone and elevate estrogen, but they are infused with pheromones, which are proven to attract women. So them in themselves will not get you women, but if you have some game and you use the soap, it does work. I've got a lot of great positive feedback from people. Link in the description below for 10% off if you use coupon code Cooper. Thanks for the request. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.